Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. The next topic is the frequency deviation and the carrier swing. The frequency deviation means the change in the frequency, and the carrier swing, the frequency of the frequency modulated transmitter without signal input is called the resting or the center frequency. Here, when the signal is zero, that is the resting frequency, mean ke here the amplitude of the modulating signal or the input signal becomes zero. That become the resting frequency of the modulated signal, that is represented by f naught. Here also the amplitude of the modulating signal is zero. It is also f naught, and this point is also indicated by f naught. This is the resting frequency. And the portion here, when the amplitude of the modulating signal is high, the frequency is also high. It is just like this. It is a packet of the frequency. As we move away from this highest amplitude towards the resting frequency, the frequency will be low. Similarly at the other end, and when we are going towards the minima, the frequency is very low, that is indicated by L. If the amplitude of the modulating signal is very high, so what will happen with the modulated signal? The portion, that is the amplitude here, the amplitude of the modulating signal when high, it's mean the frequency of the modulated signal is very high. It's just like a packet of the frequency. The frequency are overlapping with each other. These are very high number of cycles per second, and this is very high. It is just like this. And when the negative cycles come, mean this is a resting frequency, that is f naught, and this is the portion of the minimum amplitude, that is very low frequency. And again we got this maxima. Here we have again the packet of the frequency, which is very high, just like this band, frequency band. Because the amplitude of the modulating signal is very high as compared to this, the amplitude is low, that means the frequency is low. When the amplitude of the modulating signal is very high, then the frequency of the modulated signal is high, and vice versa. This is f naught, the resting frequency, this is f naught, and again this is f naught, and this is the low portion, it is very high, and this is f naught. So in this way, in very simple word, it is the carrier frequency on which the station, it is the carrier frequency f naught on which the station is allowed to broadcast. When the signal is applied, the frequency deviation up and down from its resting point is f naught. Mean the what is the frequency deviation? Frequency deviation mean when we are going, here is the maximum value, here is the resting frequency. So the deviation from maximum to the resting frequency is called the frequency deviation. And when we are going from the resting frequency towards the minimum point, that is this is also the frequency deviation. So this part is also indicated by the frequency deviation delta f, and this part is also indicated by the frequency deviation f naught. So we can define the frequency deviation, the change. What is the frequency deviation? Frequency deviation can be defined as this change either shift above or below the resting frequency is called frequency deviation. Understand? Mean the change. What is the change? Either shift above or below. Either it is above or below towards the resting frequency, and this is called the frequency deviation. So what is the carrier swing? In the frequency deviation there is another term, that is the frequency carrier swing. Carrier swing, the total variation in frequency from lowest to the highest is called carrier swing. Lowest to the high mean if you have a signal like this, so we know that from the maximum to the resting frequency f0, this is the frequency deviation. And what is the carrier swings? Carrier swing mean the variation in the frequency from lowest to the highest, mean from the lowest, from this value to the highest value. So we can judge here, that is the frequency deviation from the maximum value to the resting frequency, and again we have the frequency deviation from this resting frequency to the minimum value. So the carrier swings consist of 2 times the frequency deviation. So we can define as the carrier swing is equal to 2 times the frequency deviation. And frequency deviation is indicated by delta f. So the carrier swing is equal to 2 times delta f. If we have a channel, a channel, the frequency modulated channel, with the bandwidth bandwidth is equal to 2 times 75 kilohertz. Let's suppose we have a station like this. This is a station from where we are broadcasting something. So the width of the channel is 2 times, that is equal to 150 kilohertz. Okay, these are the 150 kilohertz. So we should need some guard, some frequency which protect our station, the broadcasting of our station, or it protects the interference from the other station. If there are other stations, this is station 1, here is the station 2, and here is the station 3, let's suppose. So the broadcasting frequency of each station can be interfere from each other, but we don't want to interfere the transmission or broadcasting of any station from any other station. So we should have a guard band, that is guard band. It prevents the interference from one station to another station. So if this band is 25 kilohertz, and here it is also 25 kilohertz, then the full station will be, bandwidth of the full station will become 200 bandwidth of full station of the station bandwidth is equal to 200 kilohertz. How? 150 plus 25 plus 25. It become 200 kilohertz. Thank you very much
for your attention.